Hi guys, welcome, and today we're gonna be making egg tarts. And egg tarts is pretty easy. This is actually a recipe that I came up with. I probably did it about 2 dozen times, so it's really mistake proof. And I think it's very easy, so it's something that you can definitely do at home very easily. So here are the things that you need. This is a muffin tin mold, and it could be found easily in Shaw's. Some people, they substitute it with something else, but I really think this is the best one to use because once the egg tarts are settled in there and you wanted to pop them out after they're done, they're very easily to be popped out. So I like these, and they come in a set of 3 if you buy them at Shaw's. The recipe that I came up with is actually exactly for 18 egg tarts, so you can use exactly all 3 of these muffin molds. But for the purpose of today's video, I'm actually just going to be doing 9 egg tarts, so I'll be using just 2 of these. And you need a mixer. If you don't have a mixer, don't worry about it. I think it's just much better to mix the egg so it comes out pretty nice with the same consistency. So you also need the eggs, large eggs, so make sure to get large eggs, and sugar powder. You need a bowl, actually 2 bowls, 1 big, 1 small, measuring cups, and milk, and of course butter. So I have all the ingredients also in down there as far as you know, a list for you to purchase, and make sure you have them in the fridge. And and also you wanted to make sure to measure them just exactly how I have described it, and do not try to change anything because I tried it 2 dozen times like I mentioned, and this is exactly the amount that you need to make 18 egg tarts. So there's definitely no waste, and you don't need to change any of the sugar content either because those are already changed, and I've already made it in a way that I think the amount of sweetness is just about right. So let's get started. Okay, so now I have mixed everything inside here to make the crust, and like I mentioned, I'm actually going to be making half of 18 egg tarts, so 9 tarts total. So I actually use half of the recipe that I put down below. So right here I put in 1 bar of butter, 1/2 cup of powdered sugar, 1/2 cup of flour, 1 egg, and if you do have vanilla extract, put 2 drops in there. But if you don't, so it's not the end of the world, it still tastes great. So I melted the butter right here in this bowl, and we're just gonna mix the butter in here. So after you mix everything together, it will come up something like this. It feels like more of a Play-Doh type of consistency, which is great because this is you know, the way that you want it. So later on you can put these as little cups, and it actually will work out really well. So I will put this aside now, and we're gonna make the fillings now. Before you start the filling, you wanted to make sure to set the oven to 400 degrees for preheating. And the first step to start the filling is actually pretty important because you wanted to make sure all the powdered sugar is melted. So you wanted to mix the powdered sugar with water first, and then microwave this so that it becomes a very warm, sugary water. So this is the first step, so we're gonna do that. So using the mixer, this big bowl here, I'm trying to let you see it without actually spilling it. I put milk and eggs in here. This is the, now what we call it, warm sugary water. I'm gonna put this in here. And I'm going to put the mixer inside here so we can beat the eggs. Okay, now all done. This is the consistency for the egg that you wanted to get it at. Okay, now here comes the fun part, and this is the time when you make the little mold for your egg tart. So you wanted to take a little piece of your dough, and you wanted to form a little cup shape and put it in the muffin mold. All done, and here we actually have 10. I actually have some extra dough left over, so I made 10 little molds. And the thing to be careful is that you don't want it to have the dough too thick on the bottom, so just be careful to have actually the same thickness. Okay, so now this step is the final step. We're gonna put the eggs here in the mold, and we're gonna take a spoon and carefully pour it into the little cups. And hopefully I have just enough for 10. All done. Now I have exactly just enough ingredient for 9, or actually no, 10 egg tarts. So they're ready now to go to the oven. So just remember 400 degrees and for 20 to 25 minutes. All right, so the egg tarts are done. And I'm gonna have a close shot here to let you see how it looks like. Ooh, actually they just fell.